Dave, you obviously went with Godwin for the first game as your return man. I'm just wondering how much is that still kind of an influx, open competition, particularly because you've added a couple new pieces in Trinity and Corey yesterday that have some experience there as well.
Yeah, obviously we'll get Valentine in here today. I think this morning he comes in. So we'll kind of see where he's at. I think at the end of the day, I mean, every position will always be competitive, I think, on this roster, and we'll just kind of evaluate guys on the practice field, see how they do, and then give guys chances in games, see how they do in the games, and just kind of go from there.
You got a chance to see Corey a couple times a year in Philadelphia, so I'm sure you've seen that film and probably took your opinion on him before putting the waiver claim. So what do you remember about his ability in the return game?
Yeah, no, he's a good player. He's made some plays, both for the Giants and the Jets. Thought he was a productive returner in there. Had some nice plays. I thought he made some plays on his own, which is always a good sign for a returner. It wasn't just the blocking. He was able to make some guys miss, find a seam, good vision, good competitive player. So excited to have him on the roster. We'll kind of see where it goes on Monday night.
What was Godwin's issue with the fumbles?
Say that again.
What was Godwin's issue with the fumbles?
Oh, yeah, I think probably it's just like Green Bay's rookie returner. He went back there and put the first one on the ground. I mean, it just happens out there. You'd like to think it's easier than that, but at the end of the day, you get out there in an NFL stadium and the lights are on, and he just lost a little concentration right at the last second. So obviously we got to be better than that. I got to prepare him better than that. We got to play better than that. Lost the fumble at the half. You mean they rolled the ball on the ground? Yeah, it went through his legs. No, I don't think it's in his head at all. He's a competitive player, works really hard at it. He's come out here and had a good week of practice so far. I got a lot of confidence in him. I mean, I think there's a lot of great players who've done what he's done and still been great players. So I wouldn't say that's going to limit him from being one or the other.
Outside of maybe those months, if you will, it seemed like a relatively good performance from your special teams group. What did you like coming out of week one, and where's an area that you'd like to see some improvement here in week two?
I would say I look at all the areas that I didn't like. I mean, there's just a lot of room for improvement. I think that's kind of our motto. We know we got a long way to go. The good news is we got a bunch of guys who are working really hard. I mean, there's things in every area, whether it's punt coverage, whether it's protection, whether it's our return game. Had some free runners. I mean, just all across the board, I think we got a lot of room for improvement. I was happy with their effort. I thought those guys went out there and played really hard. They executed a bunch of things, well, but we're really focused more on trying to just get better each week. This game just gets harder and harder each week you get into it.
Solid practice this week. Just what maybe can he add to what you guys want?
Yeah, it's awesome to have Don out there. I mean, it's great. He's obviously a tremendous pro. I remember the first time I met with you guys, I said, how highly I thought of him. So to have him in the building is great for us. It's great for Daly, the snapper. He obviously has got a guy who played for 17 years next to him and give him some pointers here and there. But he's really just a great presence to have around, I think, for the whole football team. I mean, he's a winner. He's a leader. He's a great person. He's just a great example for the organization, for all these young players. He's great for me. He's been helpful for us. He kind of helped us out a little on game day. He's helped us on the practice field. So I love having him here. I'm really thankful that the organization brought him in, and I'm thankful that he wanted to come back and be a part of it.
Obviously, Lambeau's historic place, but the lights are right there. The wind swirls a little. I mean, are there any specific challenges to that place that are difficult to get ready for?
No, I'd say it's going to come down to one thing we talk about every single week on special teams. It's going to come down to execution. Guys taking care of their job. It's no different where you play. It's probably like the old Hoosiers movie. The hoop's 10 feet. It's 53 1/3 wide, 120 long. But it'll come down to our execution. These guys do a good job. They got a bunch of good players on their side of the ball that I really respect. Great kicker. Snapper's been there 4 years now. He's kind of got his feet underneath him. A talented punter, lefty punter. We got two young talented returners, both rookies, but both good players coming out of college. Obviously, the Clemson kid, third round, I think, returning punts, strong. Core guys, 42, 44, Summers, Burks, right? Yidam, 24 on the outside. gunner for those guys, the wideout 86. I mean, I really think these guys are a good group. They're respectable players. It's going to take our best effort out there, but I'm excited to watch our guys play.
How difficult is that, I guess? Does it work out just for kick sometimes?
Yeah. We have not done that. We do have a jugs machine that can shoot it, so it simulates a right-footed punter and a left-footed punter, so we do that for these guys. It's definitely different. I think a lot of these guys have played against both at this point in their career. Whoever's back there. St. Brown, not as much experience in this league, but Khalif's obviously got more of it. Khalif had a couple of returns against this guy when he was in Buffalo a year ago when Khalif was in Tennessee. So he's seen him kick the ball, shoot. I mean, I think one of them was like a 70-yard punt on him. So the guy's talented, but yeah, we're excited about it. Yeah, I'd say like last game we got to see both those guys, which was good. I'm glad both those guys got an opportunity to get in there. I thought St. Brown did a nice job fielding the ball. I mean, we didn't get anything out of it. It was on the sideline or really out of bounds almost. But I was happy to have both those guys back there and get a look at it. We'll kind of just play it as the game goes along, how much guys are playing, where they're at.
I asked you last week about Austin's range, and you said you had a lot of confidence, and he was able to kind of validate that in the game with the 51 and 49 yards, have plenty of distance on those. Obviously, conditions kind of set what your limit is for those guys, but like neutral field settings inside the dome, like what do you think the floor is for his distance range where you're comfortable?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot that goes into that question. So what's the floor where we're comfortable? I think there's way more to all those situations. What's the score in the game? How much time's left in it? Do you have to have it? Is it like 5 seconds left at the end of the half? You might as well take a shot at it. If you think your odds are better than a Hail Mary, then you should try to kick it, I guess, right?
So let's do that. End of the half. What are you comfortable with him kicking at?
I mean, he can bang the ball. So I've seen him hit 67 out here. So just throw that out there. I mean, I don't know what that is. It depends, again, the wind, weather, all that stuff, too, would factor into that. But he's got a big leg. He's got plenty of leg on most situations we're going to need.
You guys recovered an onside kick, which is no small feat in today's NFL. I think only 4 or 5 were converted last year. What's the anatomy of a successful onside kick, and why did it work on Sunday?
Yeah, I would say there's a lot of moving parts on those plays. I would say that the rule change is going to help the onside kick team or the kicking team recover a little bit higher percentage. I don't know what that is. I mean, I'm not saying it's 50%, but I think it's going to tick up there a little bit. It definitely makes it more challenging. What's the key to it? There's a lot of things. I mean, it was a great kick by the kicker. Austin did a great job on the play. You got to have guys who are going down there and trying to get the ball back. And so you got to get some competitive guys who haven't given up on the game and the situation and believe they have a chance. They got to have their eyes on the ball in order to get there. You got to be on sides before the play even starts in order to give yourself a chance. So I'd say there's a lot that goes into it. I credit those guys for their execution. At the end of the day, some of it comes down to the bounce, the hop. I mean, there's just so many moving parts. Where are they aligned? Are they a little tight? Are they a little bit wider than you thought? You don't really know going into the game, especially now with the rule change. So I would say there's some luck involved to the play at the end of the day, if you're being honest. But that being said, there was also a lot of great execution in there too.